Welcome to Filmfare. Today I'm in conversation with a fresh new talent. She's just proved herself with the new release on OTT, Ziddi Girls. She's been getting good reviews. Everyone's been praising her sensational debut on OTT. She also comes from a family of pedigree. Her father's been around in the business for close to 3 decades. He's been a scion on TV, on film production, and I think that's held her in good stead. So, getting into that conversation, I'm here talking to Atiya Tara Nayak. Hi, Atya. Welcome to
Hi.
Filmfare.
Thank you.
How are
Thank
you
you for
doing?
having me. I'm good. I'm great.
Ziddi Girls has released, I think, what, a month ago or something like that?
About 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, what's life been like after the release?
Life has been good after the release. We've got a lot of good feedback on the show, and people are really relating to it and resonating with it. So it's all good.
Were you expecting this kind of feedback? Because, come on, it's an edgy show.
Yeah.
And it has a certain Gen Z sort of
Right.
bent to it.
I think I expected a good response, but I think I didn't expect it to resonate with so many people across age groups and genders. So that's been really cool to hear that, people's grandmoms are also watching the show, even though it's about these
Gen Zs essentially.
Exactly. So that I think has been surprising and really nice. It's a nice feeling.
Was this the kind of show that you sort of always imagined would be your first break?
Always.
Yeah?
As in the sense that I always imagined and hoped that the first thing I did would be something that, really represents who I am as a person and just aligns with my values and what I'm passionate about. So in that sense, Ziddi is exactly that.
I mean, growing up, did you have that kind of a college life where you were rebelling and sort of getting marked?
Right. Well, not necessarily in college, but I think in general, I would say I'm quite a Ziddi girl. So I've always, grown up with my parents being very vocal about issues and talking about world politics and, things happening around us. So in that sense, I've been very aware, and I am somebody who's very vocal about problems in the world and how we can solve them.
In fact, I remember your tweet on Big Boss had become so famous.
Oh gosh, yeah.
During the Bani and that one's fight.
Years ago, yeah.
I remember that.
Right, yeah.
When did you finally decide that you would be an actor? I mean, your father's been in the business for a long time.
Right.
We'll do that later, but for you, when was that moment of clarity that Atya decided acting is it?
From childhood, I knew that I wanted to act. It was just that I didn't have the courage to pursue it until much later. So I enjoyed doing it in school a lot. Even though I was a really shy kid, when I was performing, I'd feel very comfortable and relaxed and, easy in my skin. I think the moment I really decided was maybe when I was 16, 17 years old, where I just felt like I can't, dilly-dally anymore. If it's something that my heart is, calling out to, then it's something I should follow and go for it. And that's always been my parents' advice also, that just do what your heart says and follow your gut. And I think that's when I really took the call to actually do it.
So how did you go about this? You did auditions?
Like you said, my dad's from the media. I didn't actually have that much exposure to films. And so I didn't really know how the audition process worked or anything worked, which is why I first actually worked in casting.
Nice.
Yeah, to kind of understand the world and everything. And with Mukesh Chabra sir, I worked in his office. And then I went to study in New York at Lee Strasberg, where I did an acting course. And after coming back, some workshops and just training like that.
So how long back was this?
This was in right before the pandemic, so 2019, yeah.
So the stint with the casting was before the pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay, and New York and stuff?
And then New York stuff around that time only, right after.
So did the pandemic sort of put a break on your plans?
It did a little bit, yeah. It did, because I had just come back and, everything was unsure, the industry, even auditions didn't start for such a long time. And then when they did, it was in self-tapes and not in person anymore, which now has become kind of the norm. But at that time, it was, hard to navigate and figure. So yeah, I did definitely put, a break, which I'm sure it did for many people, not just me. I'm sure in many industries and careers, it really put a break in a lot of people's lives. But all's good now.
So did you ever do a soul searching? Did you ever say, is this really the career that I want to stick to?
I mean, I feel like, touch wood, I've always felt that calling. So I've not really had those moments of doubt about, is this something I really want to do? Because I feel, and not just acting, I feel like films is where I want to work, whether it's acting or hopefully someday writing, directing. I've been very clear about that. But yeah, sometimes it's just more than, is this what I want to do? It's just, it can be hard and exhausting, and you have to have a lot of patience. So it's more about just having that, faith in yourself and that belief and a good support system.
But you mentioned films, and yet you made your debut on OTT.
I made my debut on OTT.
Yeah. So, I mean, how does that, how do you plan to navigate all of this?
So I think even though I said films, I meant films and series both, because I am somebody who consumes a lot of web series. So, and that's been, even before OTT was a thing, I would watch a lot of shows like American shows and stuff, more than movies actually. So for me, it's never really been a matter of film or TV. It's if I like something, if I like a script, at least that's the mindset I have going forward. And what I had with Ziddi was that if I'm passionate about it, if I'm excited about it, it doesn't matter to me if it's on a big screen, small screen, as long as it's something I feel excited about.
So when Ziddi Girls was finally offered to you, what was that first honest reaction? Because, I've always believed that any creative person, when they come across a script, that first reaction that they give is like brutally honest.
Yeah, correct.
What was yours?
Mine was, I think I was just so moved by it, and it was everything that I imagined my ideal debut or film to be, in this case series. But it encapsulated everything. It has its fun, it has the drama, romance, everything, and then it's so political also. It has such a good messaging. It's exactly the kind of show that I would watch. And that's, I think, for an actor, that's like one of the luckiest things can happen, is that you can be part of something that really you really connect with and really aligns with who you are.
I was watching those videos of your workshops that where Shonali was saying there's an umbilical cord connection between me and you guys.
Yeah.
So when your director says this, how do you react to it?
I mean, she says it, and trust me when I say she means it. She's not just saying it.
I could see that on the video.
Yeah. Like, we felt it right from the audition process, because, we auditioned with the directors, we did these chemistry reads and everything. From there up till now, we've really felt it. I mean, she is like a proper mama bear, has fully protected us, encouraged us. Even when she scolded us, it's like come from such a loving place of just wanting the best for us. So, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better experience. She really was somebody who was just made sure we're all okay and made us so free and safe to be vulnerable and just do our best.
As a newcomer, is it really assuring to find that mama bear on your first project?
100%. I mean, I think by the time, at least for me, by the time I came on set and my first shot, I was not nervous at all. And I give full credit to her and the other directors as well. They just made us feel so comfortable and so secure in the workshops itself that by the time we're on set, we feel like, theek hai, we know they're there, so we can screw up, and they're there. So you feel really safe and assured, and that's a feeling. As an actor, that's such a important thing, where you can feel free to fail and free to try whatever you want and know that they got you and they'll figure it out and they'll be there.
I mean, I had a question that, first day on set of Ziddi Girls, was there any nervous energy? Were there any butterflies in the stomach? Or because of these workshops, you guys were in a very safe space?
Yeah, I think for me, because of the workshops, I was in a very safe space. And not just the directors, actually, even with the other girls, the kind of bonding that we shared and still share, I think that also made a difference, because you kind of know you're all in the same boat, you're all getting into this together. And that feeling of safety is there. And, more than anything, it was just fun. Even the challenging parts become fun when you have people around you that you love and you care about and who are supporting you. So honestly, there were not many nerves.
So the four of you had become chaddi buddies even before
Five of us.
Five of us, sorry.
Yeah, 5 of us. And yeah, pretty much.
You guys must have like a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, of course.
So what goes on over there?
What goes on? I mean, so much. We're 5 girls, so you can imagine. We discuss everything under the sun, from like movies, films, TV, what we're watching, to our show, to personal lives. I mean, everything. To like lame memes and silly humor. Nice. All of it.
So the friendship has truly gone beyond the characters.
It truly has. No, it truly has. I mean, they are beyond friends at this point. I feel like, and I'm saying this with complete honesty, that they're literally like my family at this point.
So, while I was watching the show, a couple of lines that sort of stood out to me. Let me tell, let's revisit these lines, and then you tell me, how you reacted to this thought while the making, and is it applicable to your life apart from, does real transition to real as well? So the first thing was, does trouble follow you or do you seek it out? Do you sort of associate with this?
I think I'm not really a troublemaker. But I really love that line because I think, and the reason I say that is because I think I'm actually learning now as I grow older that sometimes you have to be a troublemaker.
Really?
And yeah, in the sense that you can't be afraid of causing trouble and being labeled difficult if it's at the cost of standing up for what you believe in. So I feel sometimes, yeah, you have to see how it is and you have to you have to go about it the right way. But I think 100% you have to speak your mind, and if that stirs up a little trouble, I think it's okay, and that's something I'm learning.
So you're into disruption.
Recently.
Recently, only recently.
Little bit, yeah. Slowly, little bit, when it's required. Obviously not unnecessary. But when it's required, I think, yeah, you have to kind of go for it and say what's on your mind.
Ziddi Girl channels her anger towards revolution.
Yes.
Do you identify with that?
100%. 100%. I mean, ever since I was young, touch wood, I've had parents who are very politically aware and very conscious about a lot of things and socially conscious. And I think because of that, I've grown up with certain values and certain principles. And yes, the world, there are terrible things that happen every day all over the world. So there is definitely that anger. But yeah, I think the most beautiful thing you can do with that anger, instead of, letting it make you bitter, which it easily can, and it still, I'm sure, does to all of us at times, I think, is to channel it into revolution and to raise your voice against, all the injustice in the world. And that's something I definitely relate with.
Growing up, were you a rebellious kid?
That's a tough question. I feel like I was rebellious to some extent, but I won't say I was a rebel. I feel like I also had, fortunately, parents and I didn't really need to rebel against. So in that sense, not really.
But sometimes people will rebel against organizations or different set of people who are trying to establish authority in their life, maybe at school, maybe at college.
Right. I think, yeah, for me, I've always I won't say I've always been clear, but I've always tried to be clear about who I am and what I believe in. So in that sense, yeah, if I feel someone's ideology or something doesn't agree with mine, I will speak up against it for sure. And I'm not scared of, having
Which
an
we've
opinion.
seen on that BB10 wala episode.
Oh gosh, don't remind me of that. I was a child then.
How old were you?
I don't know, but I know I was a child. I must have been a teenager at that point. So.
But more power to you.
Thank you.
Seriously?
Thank you.
Good stuff.
But I was a little cringy also then as a person. But yeah, I've always been outspoken.
Why do you say that? What was so cringy?
No. I used to talk too much. But I've always been outspoken, and I'm glad that's still a part of me. I think I just have to, be a little careful where and what to say. A little bit.
I really love that chaddi buddy thing that you guys had. So, have you ever rescued a chaddi buddy in real life? And how did that go?
I've been rescued also. I've been rescued. The first thought that came to me was rescued in the sense that nothing serious, but I do this sometimes because people assume I'm a very social person. Actually, I'm quite a homebody, and so sometimes when I've been in situations where I want to leave, I've texted my friend being like, call me with an emergency. So that I've done multiple times where my chaddi buddy has called me, pretended like she's having some crisis when actually I'm the one in the crisis who's trying to get out. So then I'll pick up the phone and be like, oh shit, okay, I'm coming. And then tell everyone ki haan mujhe jana hai. This has happened. So that is what my friends do for me sometimes when I need to escape a situation.
Escape plans.
Escape plans, yeah. Very necessary to have friends who will help you with your escape plans.
We've sort of addressed this, but at any point in your life, Atya, have you ever found yourself rebelling against authority or rebelling or sort of being very outspoken in a situation where others may not have been outspoken? Have you ever faced that kind of situation?
Yeah, I think so. Not against authority, I would say, but I've grown up with, like I said, the influence of my parents and even my sister, who's she's always had such feminist values and spoken against sexism and things like that. So I think even when I was younger, when a lot of, when boys would say things that were wrong, whether it was about me or other girls, I think that's something I can feel proud of, that I would always, speak up against when some people may not have. And I don't blame people who don't either, because I think it's all a process of becoming kind of confident and learning and evolving, and it's not always easy. But as long as we try, I think, and I think I did try, and I do try every day to, stand up for what I believe in.
Sometimes, I mean, I'm sort of digressing off topic here, but I'm a millennial. You're clearly Gen Z. But, then there's so many instances I feel that Gen Zs don't, millennials automatically have a filter. There's a certain point beyond which we will not push.
Right.
But I don't think Gen Zs have that.
Yeah.
And I mean, from a Gen Z perspective, is that like empowering? Do you guys even realize that you have this power?
I do. I definitely do. I think I've seen the change, in different generations, how we're able to speak out so freely. It is empowering. It's nice to know that, you can have a voice and use it. And yeah, I think it's very empowering, and it's a good feeling to have no filter. As long as you're not offending anyone, I think it's fine.
Tell me one thing, Atya. Your first show, you get to do intimate scenes.
Right.
Is that daunting? Is that challenging? And what was the process like? You must have had intimacy coordinators. Yes. And how was that?
Correct. So I think having an intimacy coordinator made it a lot easier. And that's something, we were told even before we signed on, that there will be an intimacy coordinator. And again, the directors were so close to us, and we bonded with them in such a way that it wasn't really daunting. I think we had workshops for that as well. And, they made sure that we were comfortable with each other. And yeah, it felt like a very safe space. And of course, it's a closed set. So yeah, I mean, we were taken care of, and it wasn't very daunting.
Growing up, did you sort of often visit like shooting places, sets and all of that?
No, really not. I mean, my dad, because even though he's from media, he was initially more in news. And then even with entertainment, it was, colors and not really the film world as such. So I've been on one film set, yeah. Which was
which film?
Happy New Year ka film set.
Oh, nice.
Because I was a big, and I still am a big fan of Deepika Padukone. And my mom knew Farah, not related to the industry and stuff, alag se. And so she knew I was a fan, and she was like, "Can we come?" And Farah ma'am was like, "Of course." And then I went and was starstruck. But yeah, that's the only film set that I've been on.
How old were you?
I was, I'm gonna say 15.
Teens.
Yeah, teens.
So what happened when you first saw Deepika in the flesh?
I was very starstruck. I didn't think I would be so starstruck, because I don't know, I've seen other stars and met other stars, and I've not been like shell shocked, but with her, yeah, I was a little. Firstly, she's so tall, so I'm looking up, literally looking up, and yeah, it was a moment.
But she's so sweet.
She's so sweet. She was so down to earth and chill, and just really easy to talk to, even though I couldn't do much talking. But she was really, really nice.
There's a common thread between the two of you.
Which is?
I'll tell you. So when I had last interviewed her for Gehraiyan, she had said something that, most actors are recluses. They are very private people. They are the exact opposite of what their image makes it out to be. And you touched upon that as well. You're a very private person.
Yeah. I think people, don't think that about actors. They're like, you're probably somebody who loves.
Yeah, you're just naturally
boisterous. Naturally, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not.
So on the show, you guys are part of this girl gang who's, throwing caution to the wind and whatnot. In real life, do you have a girl gang?
Of course.
And what sort of member are you in that girl gang? The chirpy types, the glamorous types, the loudmouth?
I don't think I can be defined, or any of us can be defined in one box, if I'm being honest. I feel like we all kind of have different roles at different times and go through different phases in our life. I definitely feel that I can't say, maybe the drama queen, if I had to say. That's what my friends would say, though I'm rolling my eyes saying it, because they'll watch this and they'll be like, you should have said drama queen. So I'm saying it because they make a lot of fun of me for that. But otherwise, I think we're all, we can't really be defined as one thing. I think we all have such layers to our personalities. And yeah, it's just a great time with my girls.
Give me an instance when you've been the drama queen then.
Like in the sense that in instance now, I can't say, but for example, if we're deciding a place to go or or something to do or not do, I'm very like insistent, ziddi, as you would say. कि हाँ नहीं मुझे नहीं करना है and little like नखरा
वहीं जाना है.
हाँ वहीं जाना है little bit. Actually for me it's more than वहीं जाना है, इससे मुझे नहीं जाना है. मुझे घर पे बैठना है and chill at home and relax and yeah, so in that sense I'm a little ziddi.
Okay.
But yeah, my girl gang is, I mean, the biggest blessing honestly in my life. I think female friendships, which what this show also talks so much about, I feel like they're so underrated and undervalued. I don't think people realize just how helpful it is to navigate life with your girls.
You gotta have your girlfriend.
You have to have your girlfriends, yeah, 100%.
I think it was before the show you got shout outs from Alia Bhatt, I think Anil Kapoor sir.
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So how did that happen? I mean, I think you've spoken about this, that you've met Alia before, you've hung around her.
Right. So Alia, I've known since childhood.
Okay.
So our moms have always been very close friends, and we've kind of grown up together. So I think, yeah, for me, I mean, it was really sweet of her to give that shout out, and I'm such a fan of her work. I think she's so talented, and it just meant a lot to me that she put it out there, and I'm sure a lot of people saw it because of that. And Anil sir, he also, I don't really know well, but through my dad briefly, and even him, he's like an icon. So it's really cool that his fans and his followers saw the trailer, and yeah, I'm very grateful.
The reason I'm asking you this is because your dad's been around like forever. So growing up, what was life like for you? Who were the kids you were hanging out with? Were you very sort of, was it the TV industry where you were hanging out? Was it the films where you were hanging out?
Neither.
Or you were keeping to yourself?
Yeah, I was keeping to myself, and I had my school friends. I didn't really hang out with even Alia and all. They hung out actually more with my sister, because my sister is older than me and around the same age group. So I actually had my very separate friend group from school, and nothing to do with film and TV at all, actually. Yeah.
But you must have had matinee idols, right? People you must have looked up to.
Of
Who
course.
inspired you?
Shabana is me. I keep saying is somebody who I really respect and admire. Priyanka Chopra is somebody who I think is just, she's really taken over the world, and she's so cool, and she's just so unfiltered most of the time. So I really love that about her, and so talented. Alia, of course, now is also, definitely somebody I look up to, whose work I really admire. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people like that.
And what are the kind of films that you imagined you would be a part? I know you've told me that Ziddi Girls sort of perfectly fits that template.
No,
but apart from that,
so I've always been a big fan of crime thrillers. I think that's my favorite genre. So that is something I've been like wanting to be a part of. Apart from that, I think, I consume a lot of content. So in that sense, I think I would want to kind of do everything. There's nothing that I wouldn't want to do. I'd want to do a romantic drama. I'd love to do comedy, because that would be, I'm sure, a huge challenge, but an exciting one. So I think, yeah, lots of different things that I want to be a part of. I definitely want to do the dharma, big film also. So kind of everything, yeah.
So if I were to give you, say, a situation, you have been cast in a dharma film. You have to choose your hero. Who will that be?
One guy, I'll say Ranveer Singh.
Ranveer Singh.
Yeah. Rocky Rani is like at the top of my mind, and he killed it in that. So I think he'd be really fun to work with, and he's such a great actor. I think
But he's got mad energy.
Yeah, he's got mad energy. So hopefully I'll be able to keep up, or he'll help me keep up. But I think that would be a great experience.
Going back to your father's thing, he's been around for 3 decades in the TV industry, in films and all. When you decided you're going to be an actor, and when the first time you broke it to him, what was his reaction?
He was actually really supportive. Considering, sometimes people aren't that supportive because they've, like you said, they've seen the industry and they know how tough it can be, and what a difficult place it can be. I think he was actually very supportive and excited, and he's always been that person who's very passionate about what he does, and he's very more on the heart side than the brain side. Like, that's what he always says. He's somebody who's very follow your heart, do what you believe in. So I think for him, it honestly wasn't some huge shock. I think he was more than anything just excited that I had something that I knew what I wanted to do and I had a calling and something I'm passionate about. So I think that was actually, it excited him too, I think.
Did he become Papa Bear and say, I'm going to chalk out things to do and not to do for you?
Yes and no. I think to some extent, yeah, he gave me advice, of course. But at the same time, I think he's kind of let me navigate things on my own as well. And both my parents have raised me that way, like both me and my sister, to be quite independent. So it's a mix of both, of course. He's always there for guidance, and we chat about my career often, and I take advice from him. But at the same time, he's very keen on me also figuring out what I want to do and making some of my own decisions as well.
At any point in that, sort of journey to realizing what you want to do, did you ever also consider I could follow in the footsteps of my father, do like production and corporate things and all of that? Or no?
No.
No?
No. Corporate world, I don't think is for me. Yeah, I don't think so. But being behind the camera, definitely. I have, it is a goal of mine to write and direct someday, which is not what he does, but it's still, the other side. So that's there, but yeah, definitely not corporate. No, I can't.
So where does Atya go from here? What's the career path like? What's the vision like?
So the vision is to do good work. I think I've just finished shooting for something recently, and that will come out hopefully the end of this year. And it's a series.
Okay.
And I can't say too much about it, but I can say that it's different from Ziddi Girls. The character is also different. It has a good star cast. It's an exciting project. It's a genre that I love.
You've just talked about crime thrillers.
Yeah, so figure. But yeah, it's exciting, and yeah, that's what's coming up right now, and hopefully more good work soon.
Hopefully a Dharma film in there.
Hopefully a Dharma
well.
film in there, yes.
Ranveer Singh, are you listening?
Yeah, please cast me. Karan Johar, Ranveer Singh, both of you. Please listen.
Great, yaar, Atya. It's been a great chat.
Thank you so much.
More power to you.
Thank you so much.
And don't ever change yourself.
I'll
Take
try
to
not
Twitter.
to.
Maybe Elon Musk needs your kind of pushes on his platform.
Maybe. Maybe.
But great stuff. I really enjoyed Ziddi Girls.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys.